أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, dear brothers and sisters. Welcome to the very first session of Mindset Reset, inshallah ta'ala. So, or Mind Reset, as it's called. So, without further ado, I'm going to ask Sister Ruxana from Birmingham, inshallah, to take over and begin her session. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you for introducing me, and thank you for inviting me on your platform to share this message, which I'm quite passionate about sharing, especially for the women in our community. The focus of this series is going to be about mindset reset. So that's basically, we're going to be developing skills which are going to help us excel in life. And for me, the biggest game changer for me was getting like a positive mindset. I'm going to introduce myself later and what I do. I'm just going to dive straight into this session. So we're going to start now. There's the talk. The title of this talk is The Importance of Personal Development. And why is personal development or personal growth important, or what is it? So ever since like we're young, we're told to excel in academic. We're told to focus on getting good grades in exam, in schools and college. The learning has always been more directed towards academic courses. But what about aspects? What about other aspects of life, like self-development, personal development? They play an equally important role in people's lives. During our school life, we're almost like manufactured to think in a certain way. So we're told that we need good grades, we need good career, we need to go to good university, we need a good career, then we need to get a house, marriage, a car. There's nothing wrong with any of that. But in all of this, we forget our true essence as human beings, and that is to discover what we've really been put on earth for. For Muslims, obviously, that is to become a good Muslim. For non-Muslim, is to make a difference in the world. So why are we not here just to eat, sleep, wake up and go to a job like a robot? We're here to make a difference to each other and the community, the society that we live in. The importance of self-improvement often goes unnoticed. We are either conventionally brushing our shortcomings under the carpet, refusing to face them, or just happy being ignorant. Truth is, you cannot run away from yourself. Further you run, the deeper the grave you dig, because there comes a time when all these unresolved issues will surface, leaving you feeling overwhelmed, leaving you feeling anxious, like we found out in the COVID-19 lockdown pandemic, which I'm going to talk about later on. Personal development means self-improvement in different areas of your life. So it can include physical health, it could include pursuit of knowledge, it could include personal qualities, it could include life goals or spiritual, and it's a conscious pursuit of self-discovery or self-growth and self-awareness. It can be described as many things: personal development, personal growth, self-development. At its core, it's an expansion of self-awareness, leading to understanding of yourself and identity. So what do I mean by that? Understanding of yourself and identity. We all have values and beliefs that we live by. To discover those, we need to switch off from this material world that we live in, or this rat race, because we're so stuck in that. We don't have time to focus on ourselves. We don't know what our values are, what do we stand for, what our beliefs are. So personal development is an ongoing process of self-improvement. So it's either in your career, it could be in your education, it could be in your personal life, and it could be all of these areas. What I'm discovering now, many people, when they reach sort of like the age of 30 and 40, they've been through university, they've got a good job, they've got the money, they've got the careers, and there's like this emptiness in their life. I mainly work with non-Muslims up to this point, and I'm starting to work with Muslims as well. It's alike in both areas. They both have an emptiness in their life, and that is because they're purely focused on this rat race that we've been put in. They haven't focused on discovering who they are as a person, and that is why personal growth is important, because it helps you to develop and succeed as an individual. Life is not static. Everything around us is changing at a fast rate. So even if you're an expert in your field, there are new developments all the time. There are new research. Even if you're somebody who's up to date in your field, there are still new skills to learn. Skills like exercise, skills like public speaking, skills like communication skills, and even how to socialize with individuals, because we're so stuck behind a screen on social media and television. The younger generation is forgetting how to socialize and interact and how to connect with people on like a spiritual or like I can't remember the word, but anyway, we can't. Younger generation find it difficult to connect with people out of the social media arena. So are you focused on your well-being? Like, do you know how to meditate? It includes healthy eating. Personal development includes a lot of things, not just education, a degree, and a career. And this is what I'm here to expand your mind, so we can start looking at these things. To become a well-rounded person, there is a need to continue to pursue excellence in education, in spiritual growth, in physical, emotional, and social growth, to name a few areas. So Islam places a great deal of emphasis on self-growth, where an individual takes a responsibility for understanding the purpose of human life and for shaping that life in the best possible manner for one's own benefit and that of society at large. Islam also provides comprehensive guidance to achieve this goal. Personal development is a conscious pursuit of self-growth by self-discovery, self-awareness, self-evaluation. In simpler words, Islam emphasizes making yourself better in every possible way. It's making yourself better as a Muslim. It's a process of purification of the self. In Islam, it describes that as jihad al-nafs, the struggle against the soul, the greatest of all types of jihad. Making yourself better as a Muslim doesn't only imply on a spiritual aspect. It means becoming better Muslim in every aspect of your life, following the principle of self-development in Islam. So throughout life, we are faced with different circumstances or situations. For each new situation, we need new skills, we need different skills. For example, recently with COVID-19 and lockdown, many of our generation, people that are in their 40s and 50s, born in England, have faced this kind of challenge for the first time in our life. Our parents who came from Pakistan or India, they faced things like poverty, they faced moving to a different country, getting used to a new lifestyle. They faced, older generation have faced war. They dealt with this a lot better than the younger generation, because we've lived in relatively ease and peace. So this was a challenge that a lot of people struggled with. So I'm talking about people that were born in England, because we've had a relatively easy life up to this point. And I know many people who struggled with having everyday liberties reduced, like struggling to go shopping when they please. They were having to queue up. We saw this reflected in people's behaviour during shopping when they were stockpiling, and at one point there was a worry there's going to be a shortage of certain items. The hoarding behavior was at an unconscious level, people trying to establish some sort of control in control in an uncertain time where they had little control over their work, going out, or even going for a simple walk was restricted to once a day activity. Another behavior we saw was that people were glued to the television and listening to everything that was being told by these authorities, the government, telling them what to do. And the media was talking about COVID-19 24/7. They were doing this for a purpose, to make sure that it stayed at the forefront of our mind, and at some level to create a fear factor, because when the population are in fear, they are more willing to listen to any solution and are more abiding to the solution offered. A lot of people did question this, and the people that did question this were the people that I know in my circle who are in personal development. They didn't just follow advice blindly. There was the reason we need to extend our thinking outside what the mainstream school teachers and what the mainstream unis and what the mainstream media taught us, because during this lockdown, there was information about COVID-19, there was how it spread, there was how many deaths there was how to abide by the restrictions, there was information about how to, keep the environment clean. But there wasn't information about what we can do to help ourselves. So there was limited information about immunity, diet, exercise, mental health, all of these things which give us an extra step up the ladder to help us protect against this virus. The purpose of pursuing personal growth is to expand your thinking. It can change the way you think in a different situations, and it can increase your chance of getting ahead. Personal development can help you grow emotionally and psychologically to become a more compassionate and positive person. It can also serve as a guide to help you notice, correct, and change your negative habits. So can we focus on personal growth during a pandemic? Challenges make us face reality. There was many opportunities for growth during the pandemic, even though there was an increasing number of individuals experiencing psychological issues, depression, and anxiety. The pandemic made us face reality that things are not in our control. It chipped away at stability. It emphasized that the only safe place was our homes. Places in the past which were places of safety and sanctuary were no longer safe places, for example, like places of worship, offices and institutions like school. We were also faced with the stark realization of inequality. COVID-19 was affected more Black and Asian people. We saw inequality in the justice system in America, and the Black Lives Matter hashtag became an international hashtag. And we saw that the lowest paid workers, like care workers and key workers, did not have the luxury of staying at home. And let's not forget the conspiracy theories. There was a lot of conspiracy theories about Bill Gates and the vaccine having chipped in it. There were other theories. So let's change the term conspiracy theory. It's a term that we should look at like alternative thinking. What these people did, these people so-called conspiracy theories, was give us an alternative way of thinking. And if you research some of these people, you will find that they have all been on a personal development journey for a number of years, and they have a different outlook on life. And that is what I'm here to encourage you to do. In all of this, there was room for personal growth. After all, was there room for personal growth? Because after all, we were facing a worldwide crisis. Absolutely there was. We did personally grow in some of the areas which I'm going to talk to you about now. There were temporary solutions that people turned to, things like binging on Netflix. I know a lot of people who watch a lot of series on Netflix, and this was this was them distracting themselves from reality. It's okay to do this, you know, if that's your main focus of de-stressing. But my suggestion is the first thing is to do is to reduce watching television, because television has its own agenda. They have a certain way of changing society's perception and thinking, and television is used to mold a society to how the people that create agendas want the society to go to. As television is used to instill fear, and it dumbs down your thinking as well. The more television you watch, the more your brain is put in a hypnotized state, and your neural networks are basically stop growing. So I would limit the television. During the pandemic, there was an element of self-growth, even though we didn't do it on purpose. We all embraced simplicity. It was strange that because like social distancing had made our lives social distancing has made our lives harder in some respect and easier in others. So people who learn to work from home effectively probably didn't miss the grind of the daily commute. We all miss going to the restaurants, meeting friends, but because we had no option, we had less option, we spent quality time with our family. We were cooking and eating better meals. In turn, this had a better impact on our health. So instead of microwaving leftovers, which we used to do before, we were forced to turn to a simpler way of life and cook things. We tried new things. We all had to step outside of our comfort zone to become productive, connected, and entertained during the pandemic. We learned new skills like online meeting, doing online seminars, attending online classes. We all enrolled in online classes, so we learned about technologies, and a lot of businesses shifted to online platform. So there was a lot of personal development learning there. And we also made meaningful connections. Another unique social distancing paradox is how close we felt to our family and friends, even though we were so far apart. We learned to use video chat to make up for family get-togethers and meals with friends as best as we can. We saw communities supporting each other, and we started to support small businesses because we didn't like queuing up. And we confronted the challenges head on. Think back to end of March, as COVID-19 began spreading and the country was thinking of going into lockdown. We all had the same thought at one time or another that I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't stay at home all day, I can't keep my family entertained, I can't teach my kids at home, I can't wear a mask, I can't go to the grocery store, I can't use the Zoom. But you notice you all did. You all adjusted and you changed your behavior to manage your life. So we all managed to grow during this phase, and as a result, probably acquired new skills without even realizing it. So what happens? What's going to happen once social distancing restrictions start to ease? Are we going to get so wrapped up in our old routine that ironically we start connecting less with our loved ones? We start doing less things online. Do we continue participating in community activities? Do we continue supporting the elderly? Are we going to continue supporting the vulnerable in our communities? I hope we do, because this pandemic has taught us a lot. I'm just checking the time. So, I'm just going to tell you a bit about myself. So my name is Roxana, and I'm a mindset coach, and I mainly work with women who are going through challenges in their life. The reason I started my personal development journey was because I had a challenge in my life and I was stuck in that negative state for a long time. After spending 2 or 3 years going to workshops and conferences to expand, getting out of the comfort zone, to learn new skills, to learn about personal development, I have now started to help other women to face the challenges, to face the lack of confidence, self-esteem, to help them eliminate self-limiting beliefs. So that's just a little bit about me. I'm going to go on to the techniques and tips now. So the foremost thing for me on personal development is working on your mindset. We may not be able to control what happens in the coming weeks or months with COVID-19. There could be other lockdowns, but what we can control is our response by learning to adjust our mindset to a mindset that helps you to manage through times of change with a great sense of control over your response. Instead of going to the supermarket to hoard food, just do a little bit of reading on personal development and develop your strong mindset resilience skills. Personal development and mindset are interlinked. The stronger we are in ourselves as an individual, the stronger we will be able to emotionally have stronger emotional resilience skills. So the first and foremost is to focus on your mindset, develop positive habits, which I'm going to share in a bit. So increase self-awareness. We spend so much time getting to know other people. We need to spend as much time getting to know ourselves. Self-awareness is becoming more aware of our feelings, our personality, of our beliefs and triggers, which may lead to negative habits. Give yourself permission to pause and process what you're feeling. At the moment, you are not alone. Majority of the world is in exactly the same situation. We are all in lockdown. We are all going in COVID. We've all got COVID-19 fears. It's okay to feel a little bit anxious because these are uncertain times, but do not let that anxiety cripple you. These are different and difficult times, but that doesn't mean that you stop your life and go in that low anxiety or depression state. Spend time with people who inspire you. Jim Brohan, who is a personal development non-Muslim coach, expert, said, you are an average of 5 people you spend your time with, which means that if your circle of your friends are orientated, if 5 people in your circle are orientated towards education, they will bring out this quality in you as well because you're connected to them. If people in your circle are more into watching television, scrolling on social media, you are most likely to develop this habit as well because you want to stay friends with them. So select the people that you associate with wisely. Spend time with people who have achieved what you want to achieve. So for example, if you want to become successful in business, then you need to hang around with business people who can help mentor you. Other ways is to maybe hire a coach, which is what I did. I hired a coach to help me develop my skills. What the job of the coach is to help you focus on areas that you want to grow in. Step out of your comfort zone. So choosing to work on improving yourself requires that you step out of your comfort zone. It lets you face your fears, try new things, take risks and challenge yourself. There will be times when you discover a new side of your personality, but then there will also be times when you fail, but that's okay. You just keep going. The one thing that helped me is avoiding television and mindless scrolling on social media. If you want to catch up with the news, maybe once at a time, but use that time to pick up a book on personal development. There are so many books on personal development. You can download them as well, so you can listen to them when you're in your car, when you're going out for your walk or your run. So rather than waste time, or rather than use time to scroll social media, use that time to learn a new skill. Another great way to develop your personal skills or personal self-growth is to volunteer. So research shows that volunteering helps boost confidence. It gives you a sense of belonging and it gives you a sense of purpose outside your normal job and life. And when you give time without expectation, without expecting anything in return, believe me, you will get more in return back from Allah. You may not even realize it, but somehow a difficulty was averted. Somehow you got that promotion, you didn't even know how that happened, and it could be because you were giving time to others without expecting anything back. Start a journal. A journal is a great way of keeping a daily record of what. I would start a journal in COVID-19 lockdown of what you're feeling, what you're going through, and what positive thing that you did. And this could be a record that you could pass on to future generations. Yeah, your grandchildren, they could read about this and how you coped during this time. Rather than learning it from school, they'll be learning from a person that's related to them, that they knew. Meditation is a really good way to calm your mind. I know we read Salah, meditation is slightly different. And I recommend an app called Headspace. It's a free app, and it basically helps you to quieten the thoughts in your mind. There's a lot going on in our heads at the moment. And for us to go forward positively and to help us to think straight, we need to quieten all these thoughts in our head. So this app is called Headspace, and it's a really good app for meditation. Also, another great way to personally grow is to set goals in areas of your life. Set goals for your career, for physical and mental health, for spiritual, for fitness, for diet, for reading a book. Have like goals throughout the day. So, you're getting up in the morning to read Salah, have goals to how much Quran you're going to read, how much Salah, how much extra nafas you're going to do. Goals and personal development covers more than spiritual aspect, like I said. So focus on your diet, look and research on healthy eating, research on supplements. Don't just go to Holland and Barrett, research proper vegan supplements. Do this research. We've got plenty of time now while we're at home. So every time you reach one of your goals, no matter how big or small, you get a sense of achievement. And in turn, you prove to yourself that you can do anything that you can set your mind to. And this will really help to boost your confidence. Lastly, my biggest tip for personal growth is gratitude. Expressing gratitude in everything that we receive is one way to help us get out of the depressed state. Because if you're depressed, it means that you're living in the past. And if you're anxious, you're living in the future. By being grateful for things around you, it helps you to focus on the present. So the past is gone, the future hasn't come. You need to be grateful to what you have in the present. Notice what you have, be grateful. And the advantage of personal growth is becoming the best version of yourself. The truth is, we're the only ones responsible for our own personal development. No one can force us to learn or try new things. This makes it so important to put real focus on self-improvement. Otherwise, you could find yourself stuck in a rut, and the only person who can get you out of it is you. So even though during COVID-19, it will continue to be a stressful time, especially for health professionals and people who have lost their loved ones. But we all learned how to get on in that certainty and control the things in our lives. We met the challenge of COVID-19. We met the challenge of COVID-19 in countless ways, big and small, from making homemade face masks to budgeting our whole household spending because that job wasn't reliable anymore. The number of things that we can't do continue to go down, and the number of things that we can do continue to go up. So if there is somebody who's listening to this, and if you're someone who can't see the wood for the trees, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling anxious, or you want to learn more about how to personally grow for yourself, because personal growth is an individual thing. So I can't give you a session on personal development, or I can't give you a session on goals, because it's an individual thing and what you want to grow in what areas. So please do get in touch with me. And if you quote the UKIM webinar, there will be a discount for my coaching services. I think that's it. Do we have any questions? So this is all my social media. So if you want to follow me on Instagram or Facebook, if you want to contact me one-to-one coaching, please do contact me.
Jazakallah khair, Sister Ruxana. That was very, very informative. Really thoroughly enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Very, very good, mashallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you for that. Anybody who'd like to ask any questions, they can either unmute themselves, or they can raise their hand, or they can send a message on the group, inshallah. Even if it's feedback for the actual session itself. I am recording it, and inshallah we will be sharing the recording soon for anybody. But yes, absolutely, if anybody's got any questions, this is the time to ask, inshallah. I think we'll allow about 5 or 10 minutes to do that, if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Let me see. I do have a message. Yeah.
Do you actually deliver, Sister, personal sessions as well? Or?
I do. I deliver one-to-one coaching sessions. I can't, because these are individual to each person, what their needs are, what their goals are, what they're suffering through. I can't. Group sessions are difficult. So I do one-to-one sessions. If people contact me, I might be able to leave my details somehow on this.
Yes.
If it goes on YouTube, or if they connect with me through Facebook, is under my name, Roxana Kosa. And if they send me a message through Messenger, I'll be able to give you I'll be able to give you a consultation, free consultation, if you quote UKIM webinar.
Okay, excellent. So if you want to just put a message on the group, Sister Afshan's just saying thoroughly enjoyed your session, especially the tips. Jazakallah khair. You can actually send a message on that group.
Okay, yeah.
Contact details if you like, or they can contact us and we can put them in touch with you, inshallah. Brother Fiaz, would you like to add anything further?
Just to say, Jazakallah khair, I think that was excellent. I think it's something different. It's not the normal type of webinars that we have.
Okay.
No,
I hope it's beneficial.
No, it's needed, much needed. And it's good to see the interest. Alhamdulillah, we had lots of registrations quite clearly. Some people couldn't make it this evening, but the session as a whole was excellent. The tips were brilliant. I think we should remind the listeners, and we will send reminders out as well. This is a series, so this is the first one. So this was meant to be an icebreaker. And I think yourself will be going into more details in some of the subject areas that you sort of touched on tonight. But I think it's something that I think we all need. Positivity is part of Iman, I think. Prophet ﷺ used to have a smile all the time. I think myself included, and everybody, we can learn from that, having that personality. I think the interesting thing that really sort of touched me was the fact that we could, how adaptable we are. You talked about COVID-19 and how we managed to develop the skills that we thought we didn't have, and live a life as normal in a way, in a different, an alternative normal, as somebody may say. So it's things of using IT, for example, the fact that we are doing this like this rather than face to face. The fact is that we can do our work without going to work, but being at home.
Exactly.
Yeah. And thousands and millions of people have adapted overnight to survive. So maybe survival is the key, the trigger to actually encourage us to develop that personality that we need to. I don't know. So it would be good to hear your experiences at some point later on, because you work with people, obviously anonymously. We don't need to know any names, but it would be good to actually hear that. But we're excellent, really.
Okay, thank you. And if my own personal journey, if you saw me 3 years ago, there was no way in the world I would do something like this, because this would have scared me. To face an audience, to do a talk for 30 minutes would have scared the life out of me. And over the years, I've developed the skills and I've come out of my comfort zone. So I'm passionate about sharing this with other people, especially women, because I don't know whether there's cultural expectation or expectations in general of women. We tend to hold ourselves back, and we've got a lot to contribute to community, to society. We've got a role to play. We need to become role models for the generation that's behind us. So with personal development, learning new skill is a must for all of us. And as I've said, it's a lifelong skill. It doesn't stop with the education. It doesn't stop once you completed one course, because once you complete that course, you need to implement that. So you need to start taking actions in your life to start getting out of your comfort zone.
And just to say that this is a monthly series, so it's not every week. Inshallah, the second workshop will be next month, obviously, Wednesday, the 7th of October, I believe, and most likely after Maghrib time. So we'll send out the details to yourself. But thank you for the session, and unless there's any questions, Brother Naseem, maybe you want to just conclude.
Jazakallah khair, Brother Fiaz. Yes, there's no questions. Alhamdulillah, that means the sister's session was very, very comprehensive and well thought out and well delivered. Barakallah feekum. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless every single person who's joined us, and especially to Sister Ruxana for taking out her time to deliver these valuable sessions, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Please do share the links with everybody that you know, all your contacts. You never know who will take heed from it and whose dua Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept. And inshallah ta'ala, it's almost approaching Maghrib time, so we'll close the session. And inshallah, see you soon. Wal asr, innal insana lafi khusr, illa alladhina amanu wa aminu s-salihati wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr. Sadaqallahu Jabbar Nazim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you.